Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever this podcast finds you. I hope you are building, growing, learning, and trust yourself. I want to say thank you so much for all of the support so far with me starting my YouTube channel. Thank you for everyone that has subscribed so far. Thank you for anyone who has spread my name, Portia, to your friend or your neighbor or your coworker. Um, Thank you for those who see my growth, acknowledge it, and want me to just go as far as God is going to allow me to go. Um, um, I want to say again, thank you and welcome to my page. My name is Portia. I want to welcome you on this journey of healing with me because I feel like we as a culture, we as a community, we as women, we as men, we need healing. Um, whether you're raising a child, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a student, whether you're just living life, um, you need support. You need to know yourself, know your mind, know your triggers, heal so you can really begin to live and thrive as opposed to just surviving. I feel like the wealthy and the rich were taught self care. We see it all the time on television. They're going to the spa and they are shopping and they are even taught and raised to search for their husbands, whether or not their husband can only provide financial support. And for men, even if their wife is only just a trophy wife, they are taught that the importance of having a partner, and it is important. So while on my healing journey, I began to love myself so much no matter what. I didn't, let me tell you, half the things that I do, I didn't want to do them. I'm like, oh, I need to lose weight. Oh, I don't have any money. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, my anxiety is sky high. And you get to a point where you cannot make any more excuses. You are either going to go or you're going to let it go. And when it's your time, when it's your season, you have to just walk it out and you have to trust God. So I thank you for trusting me. I thank you for listening to me. I thank you for streaming me. Right now, my podcast will be available exclusively on YouTube. So you can still stream all of my episodes that I did in the past 2 years, on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google Podcasts. Even if you download the Anchor app, which is the app that I use to create my podcast, you can still stream it there. But I felt as if it was time to put a face to the voice. And so that you guys can really see and feel and understand the transformation that's taking place in my life. Um, just a quick little story. I was raised in the church, born and raised. I didn't have a chance to choose what church or religion I wanted to participate in. Boom, I'm just there. And in my church, we wear skirts only, we wear head coverings. Um, Women do speak, but you don't see them in leadership positions. And as I began to grow older and more mature in my walk with Christ, I just knew I needed something a little bit more. And I feel like that's okay because I am very grateful for my spiritual foundation. So I do want to say that and put that out there. Very grateful for that spiritual foundation. It has gotten me through a lot of tough times. But there's nothing wrong with change, and there's nothing wrong with finding what feeds your spirit and your soul, because you are going to need that to continue and win in life. So for all of you who maybe are spiritual and you don't like the foundation or the process or the rules of church and religion, that is okay. But there is somewhere where you're able to fit in and you can find the deliverance and the healing that comes with having a relationship with God. So I hope you find that. Um, so with that being said, February of this year, my friend invited me to an event at her church. I came. I really did like the atmosphere. I really felt as if it was, I was comfortable. I mean, from the first day, I was seen, I was comfortable, I was heard, I was supported. And, that one Friday night event turned to me going on Sunday and then a Wednesday, and then I joined. Um, about 3 weeks ago, maybe, we were in church, and it could have been 4 weeks. As I was praying, God told me, he said, I'm going to give you a life that you aren't even going to be able to believe that is your life. I'm going to give you a life that you aren't going to believe that is your life. That could mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And I do believe that God, not only has he blessed me abundantly, I feel like he is just beginning, and he's going to continue to pour into my life because I've surrendered to him. I've acknowledged him. Please direct my path. I had to stop leaning unto my own understanding and me trying to figure things out and figure people out. And I had to place it in God's hands. And as I look at myself today, I actually went and purchased my first Bible. Not that I've never owned a Bible, but I've never purchased a Bible. And getting it engraved, and I'm just really excited about that. But I'm glad for the change God is obviously doing in my life. I am not a preacher, but I am called, and I do feel like I'm put here to connect with people on a different level. So when I was in the store purchasing my Bible, I was like, oh my gosh, like, who am I? Who is this person that loves themselves and that is secure in themselves and is listening to God and really following him, even when others do not understand my purpose and my mission and why I'm setting boundaries and why I'm not tolerating certain things? I say, okay, God, I trust you. I surrendered. I was tired. I could not do it alone. And with my new journey, God has given me so much support. So sometimes our parents don't give us certain things. And to be honest, it's just because they did not have it, or they don't have it to give to us. Once I accepted that, coming into the acceptance of your reality of who you are, who is around you, who is for you, who is your support system, you'll learn how to kind of delegate and move people up on your list and move people down on your list. But make sure you keep yourself first on your list. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and jump into some of my topics. And I'll say this also, it's not in a bragging way at all, but so many people don't know my story, and that's okay, because God has given me a voice and a platform. And, you know, I'm going to tell my story to the best of my ability without shaming anyone else, without discrediting anyone else, but just telling you what I've learned and hoping that it will help you further yourself in life and your spiritual journey. So I had a dream. And in the dream, we were like scattering. We were in a place like where people gather, like maybe a stadium or a dome or a gym, like some place like that. And in this place, we were scattering, and it's like everyone was searching for a word, like to hear from God. And so, I mean, in the dream, I was searching as well, and it's like no one had a word for me. And I'm kind of just started to feel discouraged, and I'm like, okay, no one has a word for me. And this white guy, I don't know who the white guy is, you know, but in the dream, he was just a white guy, older white guy, kind of had longer hair. He stopped me, he grabbed my arm, and he said, "You are Abraham. They need you." And I remember waking up, I held on to that dream, and maybe about a week or two later, I asked my apostle, I said, you know, I've heard of Abraham, and you know, but who is he? What did he do? And she gave me some scriptures in Genesis, and reading more about Abraham, and I'm not placing myself here. Like I said, you have to know where I come from to know the significance of what God is doing in my life and what he will do and what he is doing and how appreciative I am of it. But I read about Abraham, and he was a leader. He was a father to many nations. And, you know, he left one place and he traveled, you know, to another place. And, you know, there are a lot of stories in the Bible with Abraham. But in that, I understood my purpose. And I said, okay, God, you know, I did an interview maybe in February, actually. And It's the podcast is actually Sit Down with Slim. So if you Google, if you go to YouTube and just search Sit Down with Slim, you should see the episode with me on it. And then I was telling him, like, I think people want me to be like a preacher, or they're expecting this one thing, and I'm just not that. And we discussed a few other things, and in doing that interview, I found out not only who I am, but who I am not, and what I will allow and what I will not allow. So definitely stream it. I'm proud of that work, and I'm proud of him for connecting with me. It definitely brought in my audience a little bit, and I believe that it had some more people putting their eyes on me. So that's always great, because I'm so focused on people healing and living their best life, because it's so powerful. It's so powerful to really heal and to love yourself. So with that being said, I went full force into my podcast. I went full force into wanting to bring it visual, and this is only the beginning. I'll learn more as I'm going along, but I had to get it out there. If you listen to my podcast when it was only available for streaming, I would tell you, when I have something to say, when God puts it in my spirit, whether he tells me to tell it to someone specifically or whether I just voice it on my podcast, it has to be said, because I know someone needs to hear it. I feel like I was going somewhere else with that, but I'm sorry. I have 1,000 thoughts in my head at any given moment. So what I'll do is go ahead and read my notes here that we have. So I think I just said this, but when is your time? Go full speed and trust God. All gas, no brakes. Keep going no matter what. I promise you, he will make provision for you. I'm a living witness. He will make provision for you, okay? So go full speed. Trust God to give you your reward, okay? A lot of times we'll say, we get our feelings hurt because we feel as if a person knows everything we're doing and sacrificing to maybe give something to them or to support them in a way. So you can say, I gave you my last $20 and now I need you and you aren't here. That person didn't know you had only $20, and they may just be at a place where they say, hey, I can ask. You ask not, you have not because you ask not. I asked you for $20, you gave it to me. That was it. And you're giving your last, and you expect at least, I guess, appreciation and different things like that, and for them to be there for you in your time of need, and they aren't. But it's okay, because God gives you your reward, and his reward is greater. So that's something that I learned. Sometimes people don't know, like, oh, I missed work to do this for you, or I haven't gotten any sleep just trying to figure things out for you or in support of you, and letting you stay up all night and talk on the phone to me when I need to go to work the next day and I'm tired. But they don't know that sacrifice, and it's okay. You give your sacrifice because it will be honored from above. Stop putting so much into people and trust what God has for you. People are going to disappoint you. Whether they do it intentionally or not, it's going to happen. It's human nature. A lot of times we need to start understanding human nature more, and we can stop being so caught off guard when things happen. And a lot of times it doesn't make sense while it's happening, but it'll all make sense in the end. Another thing I want to kind of pivot into is just something a little bit different, but it does still go with the healing process. As you start to heal and mature and learn more and expect more of yourself, you start to expect more out of other people around you. This includes all types of relationships. So it's not just your sexual or intimate relationships. This can be a relationship with your mom, with your dad, with your cousin, with your sister, whatever. You are going to start expecting more because you are giving so much to yourself. Everyone may not be there. Everyone may not be there where you are. Okay? So, with me saying that, I asked on my Facebook page, I want to talk about manipulation. I want to talk about, is there anything you would be willing to do to change for your partner? Lisa actually responded. She's a sweet young lady. She has, let me see if I can find her business card. She does sangrias and different home remedies and different things like that. And she said no, she's definitely not going to accept manipulation. And there are some things that she may be willing to change. But yes, this is her, Lisa, Lisa Marie. She is the owner and founder of Sassy Sangria. So you guys can definitely reach out to her if you would like. Her Gmail is Lisa Marie Myers 526@gmail.com. So that's Lisa Maria Myers 526@gmail.com. So thank you so much, Lisa, for communicating. And we do a few networking things, and I've met her a few times. She's always been such a sweet lady. So I got to the point where I'm like, am I willing to change for my partner? If I feel like God has a certain partner for me, are there things that I may do differently? I want to say yes. Everything that you were taught growing up may not be correct, and it may not be getting you the person that you actually need in your life. So take some time, always assess yourself, always take accountability, and until that person comes that is designed specifically for you, and I feel like we'll know, just keep improving yourself. That is why I asked the question about accepting manipulation. Sometimes we will know a person is not good for us. We will know they are playing us, and we kind of just accept it, whether it's because we don't want to be lonely, or whether it's because we need like financial assistance or whatever. We accept it. I do feel like it's a game, and I always feel like you should play the game how it goes, but do not get played. Also, don't play the game so much that you end up hurting yourself and you're not and forcing yourself to love. So the basis of all this is self-care. If you need to let go of a relationship, it may be hard, but you may need to pray to God to help end things and cut things off that are no longer benefiting you and that are leading you down a path maybe that you do not see yourself growing or maturing in. Sometimes when I see like old couples, I'm like, I want that. So I don't care if I have to wait until I'm 40 to get married. We can still have 30, 40 years of a happy marriage. And that's just what I believe. I want to make myself my best self so that when I get my partner, he's going to trust me and that I'm doing everything I can to make myself my best version of myself for him. And I would like for him to do the same for me as well. Adjusting and making those needed changes. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And you can comment below if you feel like I'm wrong. But I think sometimes we need to make needed changes for our partners. And I think also our partners they need to be expected to make changes for us as well. I'm going to wrap this up. I thank you guys so much for listening. For tuning in, again, for telling someone about this girl named Portia. I want to tell you that I don't have a title. I want to tell you that my zip code is 30901. I want to tell you that I did not graduate from the best school by standards. I love my school. I love my high school, and I love what we are doing. But I'm just saying statistically and what others may see. But I want you to know that God can use you. My apostle spoke about God using unlikely people from unlikely places. And it brought tears to my eyes. Because I want to see us doing so much more and being our best selves. Women, men, I want to see you loving yourselves, adoring yourselves, handling your business, elevating, and growing. I love you. I'm going to keep saying that because I feel like people need to hear it. And I really do mean it. Until next time, just keep pushing.